Starting us off this week, we have an exclusive from Headline USA editor-in-chief Ken Silva, who along with the non-profit watchdog group Judicial Watch, is seeking the 911 call that alleged would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks's father, Matthew, made on the evening of his son's death. The audio we are seeking is from a call that should have been transferred to the Bethel Park Police Department after the dispatcher from Allegheny County ended the initial call with Matthew Crooks shortly before 11 p.m. Eastern Time on July 13th, 2024. But the Bethel Park Police have still not released it, even though the section they've cited in court in their attempt not to says that they have to if the recordings are of public interest. It was even in the same paragraph of the right to know law, just further down in another section where it says, "This paragraph shall not apply to a 911 recording or a transcript of a 911 recording if the agency or a court determines that the public interest in disclosure outweighs the interest in non-disclosure." So Bethel Park Police, what's the interest in non-disclosure that outweighs the public interest in disclosure here? What do you, the audience, think the reason why the Bethel Park Police won't release the audio from this call? Especially when it's part 2 to what Allegheny County has already released to the New York Times. Maybe they just really like milking a cliffhanger. Leave a comment about this story on headlineusa.com. Next from Ken is an article about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's claim that Iran was responsible for the attempts on Donald Trump's life last year. Netanyahu's claims to Fox News' Brett Baer that Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice, but no public evidence for such a claim exists. And when pressed to explain, Netanyahu said that the assassination attempts were done through proxies, that Iran wants to kill Trump because he's a decisive leader and because he canceled the Obama nuclear deal. Also mentioned was that Trump ordered the assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Bibi went on to tell Brett that Iran also tried to kill him, but that he's Trump's junior partner. There was no clarification provided about what the heck that means, and part of me is glad that I didn't forever lose my innocence hearing the description. So if Kashat Patel and Dan Bongino, who never met a reason not to support Israel, don't think there's any foreign connections to the failed Trump assassinations, then why bring this up now? Spoiler alert, it was probably because Operation Midnight Hammer was coming. But what do you all think? Leave a comment under this video on X, and give us a follow. In another story from Ken, this one is about the targeting of conservatives who contested the results of the 2020 election. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays hired a nonprofit group called States United Democracy Center. That's apparently a cutout for the Democratic Attorneys General Association, or DAGA group, a group that has donated $200,000 to Chris Mays. That just might be a conflict of interest, don't you think? The hiring of the apparent DAGA cutout was followed by indictments announced by Mays in Arizona's quote fake electors quote case about some 11 months later. But in a June 4th filing by an attorney of defendant Christina Bobb, who was Donald Trump's lawyer when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago, now seeks to disqualify the Arizona AG and the United States over this alleged irreparable conflict of interest. The evidence uncovered in Bob's case was because of an error from the AG's office that filed a States United legal memo as an exhibit. After the information about States United's involvement was leaked, prosecutors in the case have allegedly refused to disclose any more about their relationship with States United and the Arizona AG, and States United have yet to respond to Bob's filing. Did Mays and her Arizona AG office, States United, and the prosecutor in Bob's case all just get caught with their pants down? Or is this just another twist in what seems like a never-ending story of the 2020 general election? Leave a comment under this video on YouTube. Lastly, from Headline USA's Jose Nino, we have a story about Utah Senator Mike Lee proposing the largest public land sale in U.S. history. Lee this month put forward his proposal as part of the Senate's Budget Reconciliation Bill, a bill that would mandate the Bureau of Land Management and U.S. Forest Service to sell between 2 and 3 million acres of federal land over 5 years in 11 western states, including Utah, Idaho, Colorado, and California. The goal of all this is to address housing affordability by making underused federal lands available for development, but reported controversy began after the legislative language was released last Wednesday, after being kept secret for weeks. Sounds transparent. The plan could make more than 250 million acres eligible for nomination for development, according to the Wilderness Society. Conservationists and outdoor groups, about 150 of them and growing, are not very pleased with this because there is little guarantee that the land would be used for affordable housing. Instead, this could leave many recreation areas up for sale to private interests like mining and energy companies. I wonder what Teddy Roosevelt would say about this. Another senator, Martin Heinrich, a ranking Democrat from New Mexico on the Energy Committee, has questioned whether the plan would actually deliver housing. And I'm questioning, how could that possibly not be made explicit in the language of the proposal? And then I answer my question with, this junk is written by lawyers. Get more stories like this delivered to your email inbox by subscribing for free on headlineusa.com. Come back next week to see what makes the tape.